And continuing across the new 158 and all the way up here towards the Highway 45 area and Lott Road. That's Millertown right there. And this was indicated by Doppler radar. It's very quickly moving to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So severe weather is definitely a strong possibility here. Level 3 enhanced risk for severe weather by the Storm Prediction Center. This is the system really getting upon us here now. Here at this late hour, 12:48 a.m. This is going to be a warning that will stay in effect for quite a while longer until 1:30. So it's going to be in effect for about the next 40 minutes or so as it tracks towards the northeast. We've got it headed towards the Georgetown community as it pulls away from the north side of Big Creek Lake. We even have that rotation area right near the Wilmer Woods area here on the east side of Wilmer Georgetown Road, and it'll continue up towards Georgetown. We may get another tornado warning too for the cell coming in over Mississippi Sound, which is located a little further to the south here, for a possible tornado down here about to move towards the northeast. So right off of Petty Boy Island, between Petty Boy Island and it looks like the Wrigley's here, and just south of the Franklin Creek Road exit on Interstate 10 and the Grand Bay Reserve, we do have a rotation area that's also going northeast, and it looks like it'll cross Grand Bay and end up between Point of Pines and Bayou Heron as it tracks up towards Grand Bay and Bayou La Battery. So we're going to be watching that one. That may be a new warning as well, but our one active warning that we have going on right now is for this cell here. It is going to be located between Moffett Road, Highway 98, and Lott Road as it tracks towards the northeast, and it's racing off to the northeast at 55 miles an hour. So you got Wilmer Georgetown Road here. You got Coleman Dairy Road. This is about right over Coleman Dairy and getting over towards Spice Pond and Lott here, and it'll continue up Lott Road. Should actually cross Lott Road, and this is not going to be far away from Box Road, and then it continues up towards Chunchula, Georgetown. So there is your area of rotation right there, and our first tornado warning on the board for the night. We have been under a tornado watch for a long period of time. That's going to continue until 5 a.m. and you can see the watches and warnings map here. First of all, just the watch, and that is going to be in effect for all counties in our forecast area through 5 a.m. We may start to see some Mississippi counties dropped off at some point, but we're still in the main part of the line there. So a couple of things happening. There are the new warnings. That one there is our tornado warning for Mobile County. It's actually going to extend over into Baldwin County. So if you're joining us right now here in Baldwin County for areas that are up around the Stockton location and also up towards Mount Vernon, this is a fast-moving rotation area that's crossing Mobile County, and it's headed over into Baldwin County. So if your phone is alerting you, you're within this red box right here for a tornado warning, Mobile County and northern Baldwin County, for a possible tornado coming up right now in Mobile County, close to Lott Road. It'll track up along Highway 43 and then end up here into areas here. Okay, we got a new tornado warning that just came down too for the southern part of Mobile County. So now we're under two tornado warnings at the same time. This is the cell that I was telling you about that was down here over the Grand Bay area near Point of Pines, and it's going to be tracking up towards Bayou La Battery. It should cross 188 between Grand Bay and Bayou La Battery and continue up into Mobile, and actually a good portion of Mobile is now under a tornado warning to go along with the areas to the north. There are two parts of Mobile County that are under two different tornado warnings right now. The first warning is over Mississippi Sound. This one is also moving very quickly, 50 miles an hour. It is currently over Mississippi Sound here down around Grand Bay. It's going to track across Point of Pines. It'll move up likely somewhere very close to Biola Battery or between Biola Battery and Grand Bay, crossing 188, and then it'll continue up across 2 Mile Road and track north up, maybe very close to Fernland, Irvington, St. Elmo, and then continue on up Bellingrath Road and work into Theodore. Then from there, it should continue towards Mobile, and that's why you're being alerted for a tornado warning. You're out on the edge of this box, but it is a fast mover, so it's not going to take long for this rotation area here over Grand Bay and Mississippi Sound to make it up near I-10 and I-65. So that's warning number 1, just came down. Warning number 2 is for this rotation area here, not super well defined, located between Georgetown and Chunchula, right over Lott Road now, and that is tracking towards Chunchula Georgetown Road, which is this black line right here. This is Highway 45 going north from the Callioca area and Cushla, and we expect this to work right over Chunchula and then continue on up towards Celeste Road as it moves into northeastern Mobile County. Ultimately, it could impact Mount Vernon and end up there into Baldwin County. So what's happening is that we've been watching this line approaching. The surface warm front has cleared now, and it's much warmer outside. We have the instability, and so the ingredients are there, and now the thunderstorms are starting to rotate. We're getting supercell thunderstorms, and we're seeing possible tornadoes in our area. Now, these are Doppler radar indicated rotation areas. We do not have confirmed tornadoes at this point, thankfully, but we're definitely treating them as such, as we're looking at a very strong rotation area here that will be working towards Point of Pines right there, which is this peninsula that sticks out. There is Biola Battery. You've got Henderson Camp Road coming down, and this is tracking generally right for that area. It's going to end up crossing 188, most likely between Biola Battery and Grand Bay. This is team coverage here tonight. Also have meteorologist Matt Barentine here with us tonight. And Matt, we are looking at multiple warnings in the area. The rotation area that is currently over Grand Bay appears to be the better defined of the two warnings. This one's a little close to the Mobile Regional Radar site. Tell us what you're seeing there, any new information on these warnings.
Yeah, basically just as we anticipated as this line moved in, like you said, we got just enough heating here. If you haven't been outside, obviously it's 1 in the morning now, in a while, it's a lot different than it was a few hours ago. It's much warmer outside. We've seen our temperatures coming on up. We're getting a new update on that one in northern Mobile County that we've been talking about, not looking as apparent as earlier, and that's exactly what the National Weather Service is saying, but you still want to stay in. Well, I mean, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. You're going to stay indoors anyhow and stay away from windows. We're not seeing a defined rotation area up here at this one around Chunchula at the moment. We've seen this before, though. Things can spin up, spin down, spin back up pretty quickly, so we're going to keep an eye on that one for you. That's one in north central Mobile County around Chunchula. Then we got this one that Jason was just pointing out here off Point of Pines down near Biola Battery. So this one is the one that you might just got woken up here. If you're in Theodore, you're in Irvington, you're in southern Mobile, or actually right even into Midtown Mobile, because you're all included in the polygon. But this rotation is way down. It's still actually out in the Mississippi Sound, so it's got a ways to go before it gets into, say, Theodore, before it gets into Tillman's Corner, before it gets into Midtown. So you've got a while before that gets there, and we'll have to see if it can hold together. It is moving fairly quickly, though, at over 50 miles per hour, so this will happen fairly fast. But once again, the rotation area for this one, much more defined. It is out over water, no friction out there, so that it helps these things spin up better. And it's one right there just offshore, about to come onshore here around Point of Pines, and then move off to the north and east very rapidly through Dixon Corner, Biola Battery, probably up through Laurendine and Theodore. So these are the areas that we're going to be watching out for over the next 20 minutes or so as this races on land. So if you've been woken up, this is why we've got two areas we're keeping an eye on right now. The southern one, the one that is offshore, is the one that is most defined. We'll see if it can hold itself together as it moves onshore here in the next few minutes. The other one that we're watching up around Chanchula, this one seems to have spun down for the moment. We'll have to see if it kind of spins back up. They're continuing to say they're concerned about that one on the south end. As it continues to show a very strong rotational velocity, it tracks holds, can impact Theodore, Tillman's Corner, exactly what I was just talking about, in the next 20 minutes. So if you're in that polygon, once again, you're in those areas, you need to stay away from windows, stay in the interior rooms of your home. Let this thing pass. It won't take very long. This is a fast mover. We're going to get this thing through pretty quickly. But if you've been woken up, this is why. We anticipated this. It's a strong line of storms that is moving through right now. In fact, I'll get that radar back up there so you can see the actual radar and the actual heavy rain. So, and a lot of lightning with this as well. We got plenty of lightning in here as well. So thunder is going to be waking up folks too here over the next little bit. And that's not the end of it. You can see there's some more behind this first bit of it. There's some more behind back over into Mississippi. So we got a line of multiple storms here that are rolling through right now. And we could see multiple warnings right now. Like I said, we have 2 tornado warnings. We could be seeing more as this whole line continues to work its way through, Jason.
Yeah, let's take a close look at some of the specific roadways that are along the track of the South Mobile County tornado, or the tornado warning that's occurring right now. And so where it is right now, it's right near Point of Pines here, and this is not a high population density. There are not a lot of roads right in through here. A lot of this is just savanna and marsh grass here near Point of Pines. There are a couple of residences right there on Point of Pines itself. Definitely want to be in shelter there. That rotation area is pretty much right on top of you. Once it moves ashore, then it's going to track up towards Argyle Road and 188. So this is 188 right here between Grand Bay and Bayou Battery, and it will be a very close call for Bayou Battery, but I think more on the north and west side of town. Dixon's Corner, you are more in line for it, and you can see Argyle Road popping up right there. So we've got 2 Mile Road right here, and then we've got Argyle Road, and then there is the rotation area there that looks like it's going to go basically for this area, as well as Irving to Bayou Battery Highway, which is going to lead back up towards the McDonald Road exit on Interstate 10. And there is your rotation area right there. It's definitely a lot stronger than the rotation that is currently up near the Chanchula, Georgetown area. And so that track will continue, and the alert is actually for a pretty good sized part of Mobile County, because this is a very fast moving rotation area. We're talking about 50 miles per hour to the northeast. So once it clears Dixon's Corner, it's going to be a threat to Irvington, St. Elmo, and also the Theodore area, and then ultimately up along Interstate 10 and Highway 90, and then up into Midtown Mobile, and potentially even downtown Mobile or Brookley Field. So these are some of the areas that down the road within the next 10 to 15 minutes we're going to have to watch out for. Now, we do not have that rotation area up in Midtown right now. We're just watching it for you. But when you get down here in the lower part of the county, especially along Highway 90 and south, this is bearing down on 188 right there between Bayou Battery and Grand Bay. Checking up on the other tornado warning that we have currently. This is here in Mobile County, and it's really hard to find the rotation area that prompted this warning here. We are very close to the Mobile radar site though, and so it can get a little noisy right in through here, and we're in a little cone where it's a little hard to see exactly where that rotation area may be. It appears that there is some rotation going on here up around Celeste Road, which would be located to the north and east of Highway 45. This is cleared Lot Road for the time being, which is where this system actually originated. And the strongest rotation is still with the Mobile County storm at this time, and it just moved ashore according to the National Weather Service, and we have it there. So we have it now over Point of Pines and ashore and starting work to the north. Now we're tracking debris too, and meteorologist Matt Barentine is here with us. And at this point, a little hard to tell. Nothing standing out as what we call a debris ball, but the radar very, very noisy right there. And keep in mind, this just moved in off the water, so it may not, if it is a tornado on the ground, it may not have had the time to actually pick up the debris. And looking at the signature here, again, it would be on the back side of this very heavy thunderstorm, which is producing a lot of lightning and some seriously heavy downpours there around the Irvington area. And there it is right there. So the tornadic cell, or the rotation area, is going to be located now very close to 188. There it is. It's right between, again, Grand Bay and Bayou Battery. It looks like it's going to cross over very close to Argyle Road, head on up towards Irvington, and then continue on. And again, there could be a little something going on right there. We'll just have to watch it there. Matt's in agreement with me there. And so what we can see is we can see where it's raining. That's what we're looking at right there. That's reflectivity. We can see which direction the raindrops are going. And so that's velocity, and that gives us an idea where the rotation is. And then we can also see if there's something out there besides rain, and that's where our debris tracker comes in. So Matt, couple of issues out there right now with 2 tornado warnings currently in effect for our area. Yeah,
I keep looking at that debris. There is a little bit trying to show up here, so we're going to continue to watch right in through here. It looks like something might be on there. The debris tracker, it can be kind of hard because there's a lot of noise in it, but what we're looking for here essentially is the radar can look out into can send out the microwaves, and when those microwaves bounce back, well, they can tell what they're looking at size-wise, and raindrops are all about the same size, so it shows up as that sort of magenta color that you see on your screen. But every once in a while, if you start to see pixels within that purpley color that are different, that's the radar saying, hey, it's seeing something that's a different size than a raindrop. Branches, leaves, things like that, anything like that, could be shingles, whatever it could be that gets thrown up into the air. It's not the same shape as a raindrop, so that can kind of pick it out. But it gets a little noisy around the edges where the rain stops, and that's why it can be a little difficult when you got something right there on the edge that it's hard to tell exactly what you're looking at. So we don't see that perfectly clear just yet, but there might be a little something going on there. Obviously, we know we do have pretty good rotation in there. Well, now that it's moving on shore, it seems to be broadening out a little bit. So that's the hope as these things do move along. That may be the case. But once again, if you were woken up and this polygon, we call it the polygons, it goes all the way up into Mobile proper, right on into Midtown, right on into downtown Mobile. So a large population area, and your phone probably just blared at you just a little while ago, and you wake up wondering what's going on. Well, it's all because of this rotation area that came off the Mississippi Sound down near Bayou Battery, and is now, doesn't look as prominent, but is somewhere near Irvington. And we just got a continuation of the tornado warning for this one. They did just clip it back, so you can see now the tail end of this, the southern end of this, has been clipped. So as these things move along, the National Weather Service does take out the part. So if you're in Bayou Battery, now you're basically out of this cone, and the polygon is now shifted to the north. So we're still going to keep an eye on this. It's still going to be up until 1:30. So we got another 24 minutes at least, or possibly, unless it's clipped back even some more. But this is going to continue to work its way to the north and east. So obviously, if you're in this area, you're woken up by your phone, stay away from the windows, stay indoors. I mean, it's 1 in the morning. Hopefully, you're not going outside anyway. You're not going to get a picture of this thing one way or the other because it's dark. And you're going to want to stay away from those windows and let this thing pass by. It won't take long. This whole line, folks, is not going to take long to get on through, okay? That's the good news. I know it's no fun when these things come through in the middle of the night, but the good news is it is going to move through fairly quickly. By the time we get going to work and school in the morning, this will be long gone. This is only going to be around for a couple of hours, and then it'll be done. So we're not going to be dealing with this into tomorrow morning, into the day tomorrow. It'll be long gone by the time we get to daybreak. But we have to deal with it for the next couple of hours here as this continues to work its way on through, Jason. Yeah, let's look at the anatomy of the entire line here on a little wider view, Matt, just to kind of show folks what all is happening. We've got our 2 warnings there, as you can see, which are outlined in red.
And this is really the heart of the event. The back edge, anything from about, say, Leakesville and Loosedale west, is done with the severe portion of the event the way it appears. So this is the bulk of the action that's going to be going on, and it's not going to last all night. As Matt mentioned, it's something that's going to be really touch and go for us for about the next hour or two over Mobile County, and then it'll transition over into Baldwin County as we get into the 2 o'clock hour, and about 3 a.m. more over towards the Florida Panhandle. So this is going to very quickly move along, and the tornado warning is actually been continued for both cells. So the National Weather Service has continued the tornado warning for this northerly cell for the possibility of a tornado just west of Movico, and we're very aware of that area because it's just a little bit west of where we had a confirmed tornado in our area just a couple of weeks ago, or it's got to be a little bit less, possibly even about 10 days ago. So that was over towards the Mount Vernon Cedar Creek Landing area. There's the possible rotation area, or the possible tornado here. Could be slightly west of that spot, but it is going towards Coy Smith Highway and northeastern Mobile County, and that warning will continue over into Baldwin County. So we're right there by Pineola there, and just south of Coy Smith Highway into the north and east of Celeste Road. We do have a rotation area here, and that will continue working across northeastern Mobile County. So that's warning number 1. And we are watching that one very closely. Now, further to the south, the area that we're concerned with is going to be down here, and it is tracking back up across Dixon's Corner, Irvington Bilobatry Highway. We've got Laurendine Road right in here. These are areas that are under a warning here as well. You can see that volume scan updating. It's not quite as strong as it was earlier. So the update here that we're getting, the word is not as strong with the rotation area. It's a little hard to find within the storm-based warning, but it could be cycling here, so we may see this thing pop back up really at any time. In fact, the one in northern Mobile County does stand out a little bit more right now. And then there's within this, you know, we're looking at tornado warnings, but along the whole line of storms, it's very possible that we're going to get wind gusts up around 50 or 60 miles an hour, because we've seen that even outside of some of the thunderstorms here this evening, and we found that within some of the squalls, that's where you're going to get some of the most intense wind. And so there's a lot of that going on as well. Wind, some lightning and thunder too, and seeing the potential of some tornadic activity. 2 warnings up right now for Mobile County. This one may extend ultimately into Baldwin County if it does get continued. This one already does further to the north extend up into Baldwin County. It is a level 3 enhanced risk for severe weather tonight. We have a tornado watch in effect until 5 a.m. Some of the counties will be dropped off sooner than that once the line clears. Looking out into the Gulf right now, we've got another rotation area that is off of Dauphin Island. It is likely going to clip the east end. This is something we're going to have to watch out for too. This could be a 3rd tornado warning for our area. Without a doubt, it's most likely a very strong water spout at this point. If you're down on Dauphin Island and you're on the west end, you may be a little out of it, but based on a northeasterly track, this could go right over the east tip of Dauphin Island around Fort Gaines, and anything over from about Buchanan and be at the east side of Bienville Boulevard back over towards Billy Goat Hole. You've got a possible tornado trying to develop there too. There's not a warning up for this one right now, but we are watching it and monitoring it for a possibility of a warning here over the Gulf of Mexico headed into the east end of Dauphin Island. We've got warning number 2 here. This is going to be now getting very close to the Theodore area. It's a little hard to see, and we're about to see a tornado warning issued for that Baldwin County, for that Dauphin Island cell. We just got word, so here it comes. We're about to have 3 active tornado warnings here for Mobile County at the same time, and that is, I can't remember when the last time that happened. That's certainly not something that we would want to see happen anytime, but may have 3 warnings up for 3 different couplets going on all in the same county. But Mobile County geographically is a pretty good sized place. And so there is a possible rotation area there now crossing Coy Smith Highway between Mount Vernon and Citronelle. And so that's going to be one area that we're watching there. And we'll continue to see that moving up. And, you know, the warning actually extends up into Baldwin County, but it may clip southern Washington County or southern Clark County, depending on exactly what they choose to do with this thing here. That warning is going to be in effect. Looks like it's going to continue on until 1:30 p.m. The current time, 1:12. It may be about to outrun the box. So we may see some new information there. We've got a warning there around Theodore for a possible tornado now over the Theodore area. We have not had any reports of tornado here, but it is Doppler radar indicated, and we're certainly getting some gusty winds. And then we expect an imminent tornado warning to be issued for the east tip of Dauphin Island, and kind of want to look and see what's out ahead of that too, because it looks like it'll be out over the bay, and then ultimately could be an issue for Baldwin County. So here's Dauphin Island right here. There is very strong rotation about to cross the east end imminently. If you're at Dauphin Island and you happen to be watching us, you might as well go ahead and treat it like it is a tornado warning. There it is, just issued. Tornado warning right now for the eastern tip of Dauphin Island, and it's moving northeast at 50 miles an hour. This is going to be basically anywhere from Sand Island and the water tower in the center part of the island back to the east. Rotation area going to go right over the tip of Dauphin Island. Beyond that, once it clears the island, it'll be back over Mobile Bay for a while, and it will be over the open waters of Mobile Bay. If it holds together beyond that, you're talking about Fish River, Magnolia, up towards, you get around Mullet Point, and then ultimately Point Clear, but that's pretty far down the road for that one. Right now, it's the greatest concern would be for the areas on the eastern side of Dauphin Island for this warning here. It looks like it will be just west of Fort Morgan, and looking at it, you've got the boat launches out there on the east end, what we call Billy Goat Hole. You've got Fort Gaines, the Dauphin Island Sea Lab here, and then Forney Johnson is one of the cross streets there. So anywhere really from the heart of town in Dauphin Island back to the east end here, you've got a real strong rotation area going over now, and that's an updated volume scan that just shows it's basically placed right there over the eastern side, really anywhere from the golf course east over Dauphin Island. Fort Morgan, it looks like that's going to stay off to your west, but the rotation is strong here over Dauphin Island. It will continue back up over the open waters of Mobile Bay, but it is moving quickly, so it could ultimately end up there in Baldwin County. And we are looking at strong reflectivity in here too, very heavy rain, lightning, and the potential for a tornadic cell. We're not seeing any sign of any specific debris that's lining up with that rotation area, but it may be picking up a lot of water as it's just going to skip right across the east tip of the island briefly. It's over the east tip of the island now, so warning up for that one until 1:30. It's only up for 15 minutes because it'll be pulling away from Dauphin Island here in the next 5 to 10 minutes with that cell there. Further to the north, we've got our eyes on this one here now, and rotation area is going to be right there in Theodore. And it looks like it's going to be, I believe that's Hamilton Boulevard there. So you've got Rangeline Road right there, and then you got Hamilton Boulevard, and then this is Highway 90. And so there is your rotation area there for the Theodore area. And that would be tracking in the direction of Dog River as it moves up towards Alligator Bayou and possibly even Rabbit Creek, and working here over Dog River. So there's another rotation area right there that we're watching that came up off of Grand Bay around Point of Pines and is now working across Rangeline Road in that direction there, pulling away from Todd Acres Road and Hamilton Boulevard. It'll continue to the north here and work up in the direction of Halls Mill Creek and Rabbit Creek as it gets over on the west side of Dog River. Also would be a threat to the Rangeline area and Theodore, and this warning just got continued, so the tornado warning is still in effect until 1:30, and we just got new information that this is this appears to be re-strengthening here just over near Theodore and Dog River, some of the areas I mentioned. In fact, looking at it here, that rotation area does look more impressive there with that recent volume scan coming in, and it looks like it's going to go right over the Dog River area and cross over near the Alba Club and Riverside Drive, as well as Clubhouse and DIP. Looks like this could go right over DIP and potentially Brookley Field. It looks like Midtown Mobile and the I-10, I-65 split have been taken out of that warning box temporarily, and it is more centered up. This possible tornado is more centered up over Dog River and then the DIP area and Hollinger's Island, as well as Brookley Field. So this is looking more like it could be producing a tornado there versus what we saw about 10 or 15 minutes ago. Looked really strong when it came across Grand Bay, and then it looked a little weaker as it worked over Dixon's Corner. Now it has re-strengthened as it's tracking off in the direction of Dog River and DIP. So we've got a warning there, and that will continue for the next 15 minutes until 1:30 p.m. there. The warning to the north, just a quick check on that one there to see what we have. Still a warning in effect, but not a well-defined rotation area really to pick out here, and it looks like this is essentially about to outrun the box. Hard to even pick out the area of concern here, but we are under a tornado warning for Mount Vernon and the Chastang area. Further to the south, updating you on the Dauphin Island system. The tornado that was apparently over the east end of Dauphin Island has now cleared Dauphin Island, and it would be out over the mouth of Mobile Bay. So the one area we're watching the most right now would be impacting land areas is going to be potentially right in here. And what we're looking at, by the way, if this looks weird to you, this is the velocity scan, so it helps us see where the rotation areas are. And right now we are watching for some rotation that's going on pretty close to the Navco Road area and Navco Park on Dog River. There it is, right there. And we're getting some very heavy rainfall right now. We're currently broadcasting from the McGowan Park area. We're going to be just south, just north of this. That rotation area is going to pass just south of the Fox 10 News studios and work here over Dog River, Navco, Riverside, Clubhouse, and the Alba Club as well. And then it'll cross DIP, Brookley Field, Hollinger's Island, and end up tracking up towards the western side of Mobile Bay, not too far away from the Coast Guard base, and it could end up around the causeway. We've got a live picture right here just to show you the heavy rainfall that's occurring on Interstate 10. Good to see not many people out traveling right now, considering we have 3 tornado warnings up for Mobile County. Just let this line go on through. If you could avoid travel for about the next hour or two, that would be a really great idea in Mobile County. In Baldwin County, the worst of it's yet to come. A lot of this is about to move over from Mobile County over into Baldwin County. So right there, damaging wind potential is also going on along this line. That's another thing we've got to watch out for. There's going to be a severe thunderstorm warning that's about to be issued for Mobile County and Baldwin County, really for both counties in general, because the whole line has the potential of producing damaging winds and wind gusts that may be in excess of 70 miles per hour with some of these storms that are coming in. There's just a lot of energy in the atmosphere here tonight, and the ingredients are there for both tornadoes and for gusty winds. So updating you on the loop, right now it looks like a possible tornado is going to be really close to the DIP area, and that is moving in the direction of Brookley Field. This volume scan is not as well defined as what we had about 2 volume scans ago, but we see this a lot of times with tornadic activity. It doesn't take long for one to make it down to the ground. You can have a rotation area, it looks well defined, then it lifts, and then it circles back around and comes back, tightens back up, and you start to see a tornado form once again out of the same cell. Looking at it here, we're watching a tornado warning that's currently in effect for Brookley Field, and this could end up affecting Broad Street. And this is going to be the south side of Broad Street, south of Interstate 10. You got Bayfront Drive there, also in line for this, as well as the DIP area. So we are watching out for that too, as that is moving on off towards the northeast. Then we have a severe thunderstorm warning up for both counties, and also looks like something happening perhaps here. Matt, tell us what you're seeing. You're getting some new information there. What are you seeing going on out there on radar here this evening? Okay,
so the northern Mobile County tornado warning is about to be allowed to expire. We've been keeping an eye on that one. Couldn't pick out a good rotation there, so they're allowing that one to expire. So if you're in northern Mobile County up around the Mount Vernon area, your warning is about to go down. So no worries, or at least at the moment, for that one. So that one has been expired. The one to the south, wow, look at that one out over the bay right now. That's a water spout out there. So we got a tornadic water spout, I should say. So we got a big one out over the bay. So this one is about to outrun its box. We'll see what they end up doing with that, but that is a pretty big signature out there over the water. That is something else. So we need to really be paying close attention. If you're on the eastern shore, anywhere from Point Clear down to Pelican Point, yeah, if you're on Scenic Highway 98 there, you need to be in shelter. You're not in a warning yet. If you're up with us, though, you need to be in shelter. That is a nasty looking cell out there over the middle of the bay. Very nasty looking cell. So that's got me real concerned, Jay. So we need to get folks over there anywhere, like once again from Point Clear to Pelican Point. You need to be in shelter. If you're back there behind that on Fish River, on County Road 13 there on the southern part near 98, you need to be in shelter as well. Let me center that up here so you can see that. That is a nasty looking circulation out over the middle of Mobile Bay. Obviously, there's no friction there on the water that allows these things to spin up higher, but if you're right along the eastern shore there we go. We're going to pop it over now to Baldwin County. Nope, that's the expiration for the other one. So we're going to see, though, from the National Weather Service, we're probably going to see this one moved over onto the eastern shore before too long, because that is an intense circulation right now over the middle of Mobile Bay. If you're on the southern end of the eastern shore, you need to be taking shelter, keeping a close eye on that. We need to get that warning out to folks there on the eastern shore, though. We need to wake them up with the phones here in a minute if we can, because that is once again an intense looking signature out over the middle of Mobile Bay, far stronger than anything else that we have seen so far. Let me get the debris tracker. I wonder if it'll pop up just showing them, because it's out over the water. It's just putting more water up into the air. Let me get back onto the velocity image. So there we go. That is once again out over the middle of Mobile Bay. We're going to see what the National Weather Service does with that, because it is about to outrun the original box. This one was off Dauphin Island, went over the very eastern end, the very eastern tip of Dauphin Island, somewhere around Fort Gaines, and now is out over the middle of Mobile Bay as a very intense signature, rotation signature. And yeah, they're about to give one out for Baldwin County. So if you're on the eastern shore, let me go ahead and just get some markings up here. If you are anywhere in this area, you need to be in shelter. We're going to see a tornado warning for this, most likely. Probably include the southern end of Fairhope, maybe the full town of Fairhope, up towards Robertsdale, Fish River, Magnolia Springs, Pelican Point, Point Clear, County Road 32. We have a very intense signature out over the middle of Mobile Bay. A lot of rotation going on. Very strong looking system moving in. So we need to get folks in shelter. Need to get folks woken up so they know to get in shelter as well here in just a bit with that one over Mobile Bay. That is, Jason, that is a nasty looking one that we got out there right now.
Yeah, not a good situation at all. So we do have a strong rotation area over Mobile Bay that is tracking towards Barnwell, County Road 32, Highway 98. It looks like it's going to end up crossing somewhere around Mullet Point and up to Point Clear. May actually be a little bit north of Pelican Point and Weeks Bay, but the upper end of Fish River, need to be watching out for that. The Mobile County situation, we're getting some reports of some power outages right now. We still have one warning that is in effect for Mobile County. And that area, it's hard to find an area of rotation there. That one's going to be set to expire here. That would be the one that was over the Dog River area. That is set to expire at 1:30, and we may see that expire. It's really hard to pick out anything specific. You can see, you're looking in here, there's some green pixels, there's some red pixels, but you don't really see the well-defined difference between the two, the gate-to-gate shear. And then you compare that with what we're seeing further to the south, right there, really strong rotation over Mobile Bay. Here is Barnwell right there. You got Fairhope High School right here. This is Point Clear and the Grand Hotel. You've got County Road 32, which is a major thoroughfare right there. And this is basically heading right for that area. The first potential areas to be impacted by this would be some of the houses right along Highway 98 south of Point Clear. You're basically talking about Zundels, the Zundels Wharf area. You've got a rotation area coming to you. And what's interesting is right now there is not an active warning in effect for Baldwin County, but here on Fox 10 News, we are very concerned about this area. We have strong rotation. Of course, it could weaken as soon as it hits land, but that's a really strong rotation area. It's more likely to be a tornado over the water based over what we're seeing right now versus a water spout. This is moving northeast at 50. So it was just over Dauphin Island about 15 minutes ago, and now it's crossed most of Mobile Bay. It's about to come ashore there along the eastern shore south of the Grand Hotel, or very close to the Grand Hotel. Remember, it's a northeasterly track that is going on with this one here. We've had wind gusts at Mobile Regional Airport for 46 knots or 53 miles an hour. All right. New warning has been issued for Baldwin County for this cell here. And so this is going to be the new polygon that was put up. So if you're just joining us and your phone's going crazy and you're in Baldwin County, we've been watching this one. It was over Dauphin Island, and now here it is, getting very close to the eastern shore between Point Clear and Mullet Point here, and north just a little bit up from Pelican Point. And the areas that are going to be included in this warning, it's a possible tornado moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. It looks like it's going to come ashore here. You've got County Road 13, you've got County Road 32. There it is, getting really close to Zundels Wharf and areas just south of Point Clear. A strong rotation area coming in off of Mobile Bay. Very likely to be producing a tornado, and it is going to continue from the eastern shore and rapidly track across Highway 98 and County Road 24. We've got 181 right here, which is extending down too. So the lower end of 181. Meteorologist Michael White is in the building as well. So we have all three Mets in here this evening with team coverage going on here on Fox 10 News tonight. He'll be joining us soon, and this coverage is likely going to continue for the next several hours as the severe weather threat continues for our area. Fairhope proper right here. Looks like the south part of town is of the greatest concern for this rotation area. It's going to end up most likely somewhere around County Road 48 and 181, or potentially a little east of there. County Road 55, you are also included in this warning. The first place that it will impact, it's a mile or so out in the bay, and I would think our next volume scan is going to place this rotation area pretty much right there on Highway 98 and some of the homes right along the water. And so that's about where the system is now. Remember, we get these updates every couple of minutes. And so as fast as the forward speed is this thing is, I would expect it to be basically right on the edge of the bay and working in, pushing in towards Highway 98 and pushing up towards County Road 32, and it could clip the Fairhope area, and we've got really strong velocity. So if we don't have a tornado, we've got crazy winds going on out over the bay, and that in itself could be damaging. But that appears to be a tornado over the water coming ashore right now here in Baldwin County, Matt. And we do not have live cameras of that right now, but we do have a view of what's happening in Mobile. It is a rainy, messy night out there across the Gulf Coast.
Oh, that's for sure. So, yeah, we've been keeping an eye on the different the camera views. Yeah, but this is south of any of our cameras at this point. Once again, this is for the southern part of the eastern shore. Okay, so yeah, we're just talking about the right here down around Scenic 98 down in south of south of Point Clear. That is the area that we're under most concern right now, because this is a very strong area of rotation. Like Jason mentioned, we just saw some of the velocities in here, well over 70 miles per hour. So we're getting a very strong circulation here as it continues to work its way off to the northeast very rapidly. So right now, like I said, basically right on Scenic 98 there. That is what we're looking at. So right through County Road 13, 98 through south of Fairhope High School. But some of the areas, now you've probably been woken up wondering what's going on if you're in Robertsdale. Well, it's still a bit to the south of you at this point, and it's going to take a little bit of time to get there, but not that long. This thing's moving 50, 55 miles per hour. If you might have got woken up in Loxley, same deal for you. It's south of you at this point, down near Mullet Point and Barnwell. And that's going to take some time to get up that way. Now, does it make as far as Gateswood? We'll have to see if it holds together. The reason why this is actually a larger polygon than what we typically see out of these systems. Right here, right now, we're seeing a much larger polygon than what we typically get. And the reason why is because it's moving so very rapidly. We've seen these moving tonight at around 50, 55 miles per hour. So you put that forward speed, it'll move through this box fairly quickly. So that's why the box is so large, taking up a very large chunk of real estate there in Baldwin County. And so we'll have to see if it holds together through the whole thing. But we've seen these things moving very rapidly this evening. So we just got the newest scan down. And each new scan, like Jason was mentioning, we're really seeing it move very quickly as it moves along. And right now we're seeing it pretty much near 98, Highway 98 proper, near County Road 32 and Highway 98, just off to the east of Point Clear. So that is where we're zoomed in right now. So hopefully, if this has woken you up, hopefully you're in your safe spot, you're away from windows. It will move through quickly. It won't take long for it to get past your house, but we want to get it past your house safely and make sure you stay safe and away from those windows while this moves on through. Once again, this looks like it'd be just south of Fairhope High School area. So some of the other communities there around County Road 13, Ottawa Boulevard, Narrowleaf Boulevard. So a lot of neighborhoods here on the southeastern side of Fairhope. A lot of these new neighborhoods right there. You're the ones you need to be taking shelter right now, staying away from windows as this makes its way off to the north and east at over 50 miles per hour. We've seen wind gusts already tonight, well in excess of 50 miles per hour. And this one here, once again, we've seen some velocities here over 70 miles per hour with this one. So it's got some very strong winds. Hopefully here as it's back over land, hopefully it's getting the friction and might be weakening it. And that looks to be a little bit of the case, but we're not going to, breathe easy until we get this thing to completely fall apart, and hasn't done that just yet, Jason.
All right, so taking a look and updating you on the situation, I want to give you an overview of what's happening with radar across the entire area as we're closely monitoring the situation here just south of Fairhope in Baldwin County. The back edge of the severe weather is coming through Mobile County right now. And if you're in Greene County, George County, Jackson County, you've pretty much seen the line come through. In fact, some of these counties have been dropped out of the tornado watch. This is a rapid situation, so we're going to see some very intense wind and rain. You can see it with our live picture there, and likely a severe thunderstorm situation going on. You want to see what a severe thunderstorm looks like? There it is. Right there. Winds could gust to 60 miles an hour. We're under a severe thunderstorm warning for Mobile County, and that is the line. So West Mobile now, once you get out towards Mobile Regional Airport, you have seen the worst of it. It's moving through. It's what's ahead of it that's most concerning. And of course, obviously, Baldwin County with a warning up right now along Highway 98 and the southern end of 181. This is really on the south and the eastern sections of Fairhope that are going to be impacted by this. And it looks like Citronelle, you're getting the last of it here, and then Leaguesville, Lucedale, Hurley, Pascagoula going over to just light rain and the severe threat ending for you. All right, zooming in and checking our tornado warned storm. There is still some rotation going on here close to County Road 32. It is not as well defined as it was when it was moving right in there over Zundels. And so you've got the heart of Fairhope, and you take Section Street South, County Road 3. Looks like basically the south side of Fairhope being impacted by this area of rotation. It is a little broad, but it is still showing up on radar. Hopefully we don't have a tornado on the ground there. And it's crossing County Road 13, County Road 32, and it's going to end up continuing on. And there may be a little bit of debris right there, Matt. It's hard to pick out, but possibly right there around County Road 32. We've got to watch that right there. That is matching up with the rotation area that came ashore there around Barnwell and Mullet Point. So it's going to continue on tracking towards Fly Creek or just a little east of there and ending up, Robertsdale. This is a great point that Matt made earlier. Robertsdale and Loxley, you are in this storm-based warning, which means you are likely being alerted to a tornado by your smartphone or by your Fox 10 weather app. And you can see Highway 90, Loxley, Interstate 10, Robertsdale, about over to the Beach Express and the Buc-ee's in Interstate 10. You are included in this warning. The rotation area that has prompted the warning has not made it to this area yet. Places like Gateswood and over towards Steelwood Lake, that's all yet to come, but the area of rotation is quickly heading in that direction. There is right now a severe thunderstorm warning for Mobile County and for Baldwin County. We may not be getting a tornado warning right now in Mobile County, but we are getting some incredible winds as this band of wind and rain moves through. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued for Clark County and Monroe County farther to the north, and winds possibly going to 60 miles an hour here up near the Watley area and up towards Monroeville and also up towards Beatrice. All right, back to our storm-based warning for the tornado in Baldwin County. This red box right here is the area of concern. Your rotation area has now cleared the eastern shore and the areas to the south of Point Clear, and it's now over the east side of Fairhope. It's going to continue working towards Loxley and Robertsdale as it heads up there towards Interstate 10. So there is the rotation area there, and we are watching it getting very close to County Road 55 and some of the other streets and roads. You got County Road 64 up here in Loxley. So we're continuing the warning for Baldwin County here tonight, and that's going to stay in effect for a while longer. Just got an update on that. That's going to stay in effect, Matt, until 2:15 p.m.
Yeah, they just clipped back the southern end of it. So that means if you are 98, you are out of it basically. But once you get to the west there of 98th and Fairhope, you're out of the box at this point. So that's how the National Weather Service does this. They move it along and they clip the polygon back as the system makes its way off to the north and east. So the southern end of that, if you're on County Road 32, now you're out of the box. Point Clear, you're out of it. If you're down in the southern end of Fish River, south of County Road 32, you're out of this. But if you're in Silver Hill, you're in Loxley, you are still in it. Yeah, and also, I think it narrowed it up a bit too. Yes, I clipped out most of Robertsdale. If you're on the north side of Robertsdale, you might still be in it. But if you're on the south side of Robertsdale or on the east side of Robertsdale, east of 59, you are now out of the warned box here as it continues to work its way up towards just to the west of Silver Hill. So that's what we're looking at right now. West of Silver Hill, between Silver Hill and Fairhope, kind of right in between there. And a lot of these new neighborhoods just to the east, east of County Road 13, east of 181. These are the areas now that we're going to be keeping an eye on because it goes up towards Loxley. Loxley's basically right through the middle of this polygon right now. So you're in Loxley, you definitely want to be in your safe spot, away from windows. They're saying that it has weakened. That's what we've been kind of looking at. But even as this thing is weakened and broadened out, we're still going to get winds at least of 60 miles per hour here, enough certainly to do damage, certainly knock down fences, make those trampolines fly around, that sort of thing. So we're going to be continuing to monitor this as it moves off to the north and east. We could also see this thing cycle back up very quickly. We saw that in Mobile County with the one that came over Grand Bay area. It cycled down, then it cycled back up for a minute over in the Theodore area. We were going to watch this one for that possibility too as it continues to work. And also we're going to have to watch out for any new rotation areas, keeping an eye down here around Fort Morgan Peninsula. There's a little bit of one down there. We'll see if that one pulls together or not. And we're continuing to watch up here in the north, up here around Monroe County. Now, this is a severe thunderstorm warned storm, but it obviously has got some very strong velocities here. So they're looking at straight line winds 60 to 70 miles per hour up here in parts of Monroe County right now. In parts of Clark County, actually about to cross over into Monroe County. So if you're up here along Highway 84 in Monroe County, you're about to get some very strong winds pushing on through with a severe thunderstorm. Not a tornado warning here with this one, but some very strong straight line winds with that one as it moves on through. So we got some problem areas still, and this line is continuing to march on through. The good news, like Jason was mentioning here, is that the back end of all this is going to move through very quickly. So you will not be in the danger zone here with this one for very long. Parts of Mobile County, most of Mobile County now is almost out of this. It's only a very thin line now in downtown Mobile, down along DIP and Dog River. Once you get anywhere to the west of that, anywhere basically west of 65 now, you're out of the danger zone. So the danger zone is a very narrow line, and they'll move through your area very quickly. If you're on the eastern shore of Baldwin County, you're in the middle of it right now, but you won't be for too much longer because this is the back end of it that's right now in downtown Mobile that'll be moving through very quickly. So this is not a slow mover. This one is a fast mover. This one's going to get through very quickly. Just bad timing in the middle of the night. I know, waking you up with your phones and all that, but we can't control that. We're just going to have to bear with it and let this thing move on through, guys.
Now, so the situation here, it wasn't long ago we had 3 tornado warnings in effect for Mobile County. Now no longer under a tornado warning for any parts of Mobile County. The one warning we do have right now is for Baldwin County. There is still a severe thunderstorm coming through downtown Mobile right now, so we're not trying to make light of that situation. But within about the next 30 minutes, Mobile County is going to clear out from the severe weather threat. In Baldwin County, we still have some rotation here, and this is going to be up very close to the Silver Hill area and 104. And it's going to continue tracking up in the general direction of Loxley here as it's moving away from Fairhope. If you're in Fairhope right now, you can see how a good portion of the south side of town has actually been trimmed out of the box. There's still some areas that are included in the warning over on the east side of town, but our main area of concern is this rotation area here, which is located north of Silver Hill, and it's more likely to go right over Loxley than it is Robertsdale. So it'll cross Highway 59 and right there near Loxley and Loxley Park, and then work across Interstate 10. Once it clears Interstate 10, it will be tracking over Steelwood Lake and then head off in the direction of Gateswood and 112. You were included in this warning as well, and then it'll track up towards the Perdido River. So we do have a warning here, and that's going to continue that warning until 2:15. So that's going to be in effect for the next 30 minutes for this warning right here. We are looking at severe weather, the potential for the Baldwin County area specifically, and the Florida Panhandle that'll continue for the next several several hours. I would say by about 4 a.m. most of this is going to be pretty much out of the area. This is what we expected. It's an overnight event. It's happening in the middle of the night. It's waking folks up, and we're seeing the possibility of severe weather in our area. So we are looking at a situation right now as we are tracking the severe weather potential in our area, and we're going to continue to monitor it very closely here on Fox 10 News. You can see there is Loxley right there, rotation on the west side of town, and really going over the heart of Loxley here. And if you're not getting a tornado here, you're going to have very, very gusty winds here in Baldwin County as this is headed up towards Interstate 10. We are looking at that, tracking on off to the northeast very quickly at about 50 to 55 miles an hour, and we'll continue moving up here into the Steelwood Lake area. We just got word from the National Weather Service that the tornado warning may be allowed to expire because it is a rather broad rotation area. It's not nearly as robust as it was when it was moving off of Mobile Bay, and so this warning may be allowed to expire here very soon. It's about to be canceled. And with that ongoing, we may go through at least a brief period here, hopefully a longer period here where we're not under a tornado warning for our area. We do remain under a tornado watch. That's going to stay in effect until 5 a.m. for areas along and ahead of this line of thunderstorms. So even if this warning does expire and we're not under a warning, we're going to still be keeping a watchful eye on severe weather as this works across our area tonight. And we'll be breaking into programming here at any time if we do see anything else that is tornadic in our area. So it looks like the warning is now canceled for Baldwin County, which is good news there. We do have severe thunderstorms coming through Mobile and Baldwin County, the eastern shore, and really everywhere in this orange box here is under a severe thunderstorm warning for wind gusts that could exceed 60 miles per hour. We're getting heavy downpours. We're getting a lot of lightning, but it's not long, and this is going to clear out of Mobile County. Baldwin County, you're dealing with the worst of it. Pensacola, it's yet to come. It's just off to the west, and it will be moving through here in the overnight hours. We're going to go back to programming because we're not under an active tornado warning right now, but we are watching this very closely, and we'll have more updates here on Fox 10 News. With team coverage here on Fox 10 News tonight, and we do have a severe thunderstorm warning up for Mobile County and for Baldwin County, and we are looking at the potential of gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour. And so this is the latest. This is what's going on right now. This is live if you were seeing a tape portion of the broadcast from earlier tonight. And as of right now, about 1:51 in the morning, we've got severe thunderstorms coming through Mobile County and Baldwin County with winds gusting to near 60 miles an hour potentially. Most of Mobile County is about to be in the clear. I do expect the southern end of this line to still impact Dauphin Island and the northern end of the line up here along Highway 43, but it looks like the leading edge is now cleared downtown Mobile. So from there back to the west, over Greene County and George County as well as Jackson County, we are now seeing the severe threat lowering, and what's ahead would be these cells working through Baldwin County, Clark County, Monroe County, and tracking towards the Florida Panhandle. Matt, do you have a future cast run? I think it would be interesting to show everyone what we're thinking about the timing on this. So currently, the future cast is matching up really well with where we're seeing the cells more into Baldwin County. By 2 a.m. we're going to advance that, and you get into, well, that's basically right now. Then 3 a.m. we're seeing this over towards Pensacola. So by 3 a.m. we're going to see it actually clear most of Baldwin County and getting over towards Pensacola and 29 in the Bruton area and Evergreen and working along Interstate 65. And then by 4 a.m. it's going to be almost completely out of the area. We're going to be starting our morning show here on Fox 10 News with potential severe weather getting past Okaloosa County and then clearing out nicely for the rest of the day tomorrow. We are going to see some winds coming around out of the west and some cooler weather tomorrow. We just got a report of some power outages and possible power lines down in Fairhope, so not good there. That is a result of having that area, that tornado warned storm earlier. Look at the wind continuing here and the temperatures. You know, we talked about this, that our temps would actually shoot up to near 70 degrees. But once you get behind this band of rain, they're going right back down where we were most of the evening, the early part of the evening tonight. We're going to be back into the lower to the 50s. We're going to be in the lower 60s and the upper 50s as we work into tomorrow morning. And beautiful. We'll start to see some clearing as we go through the next 10 hours. So if you're joining us here on Fox 10 News tonight, we are covering a lot of different things happening. We've got a little bit of minor coastal flooding going on. We have winds that are gusting up to about 30 miles per hour based on what we're currently seeing with our gusts. And then, of course, within severe thunderstorms, we could see higher gusts than that, up around 50 to 60 miles an hour. We are not under any active tornado warnings right now, which is good news. So we're getting a little breather there, but there is still a tornado watch that's going to be in effect until 5 a.m. for the area. And there is the line right there as we're up into Clark County, Monroe County, and then also looking at Baldwin County here. And these are the cells that are working on off to the east. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Mobile County trimmed out of the severe thunderstorm warning, but perhaps more severe thunderstorm warnings along this line. Let's check the line here for rotation, just see if there's anything that we need to be watching. And nothing's really standing out in here. You know, we are looking at a little broad rotation there around the Gateswood area. That would be the storm that was over Fairhope earlier, but it is not looking to be tornadic at this time. And further to the south as we scan out towards the Gulf, looks good there. There are some counties that have been removed from the tornado watch. That would be Greene, George, and Jackson counties have been removed from the tornado watch. So that's good. We're starting to see that drop on off, and it probably won't be long. We'll see Washington and Mobile counties taken out of that tornado watch. So now it is a Baldwin County thing, as well as Clark County and Monroe County, and also there around Gulf Shores. You are now out of dealing with the brunt of the severe thunderstorms here as they are working through and the possibility thereof of severe thunderstorms tonight. I've got team coverage here with meteorologist Matt Barentine and meteorologist Michael White, and we are watching this very closely. And we are seeing a real active night here. Just wanted to get everybody up to speed on what's happening instead of showing our taped weathers and our taped newscast there that we had on just a few minutes ago, Matt.
Yeah, just keeping an eye on all the different the parameters of what we still have going on out there on the radar. It's a quick moving line. If there's anything good, I mean, you know, we don't. These are never fun when they go through in the middle of the night, but if there's anything good about it, it is very fast moving. Like Jason was just saying, almost all of Mobile County is basically out of it at this point, except for right down along Dauphin Island. That last little bit there, that's it in Mobile County. Then Mobile County's out of the danger zone with this system. And then that'll continue to work its way into Baldwin County. Baldwin County, you're right in the thick of it right now. We have no active tornado warnings, which is great news. But this will continue to push off to the east and into Escambia County over into the Panhandle and also Escambia County, Alabama. It's just now entering up around Atmore. So we're going to continue to see this work its way along fairly quickly. Once it starts raining heavily where you're at, it'll last for about 30 to 45 minutes, and then the worst of it's done. And the back edge of this will clear out pretty quickly, and cooler temperatures will move right back in. So like Jason said, we had this crazy spike in temperatures. I was out on the soccer fields with the kiddos this evening, and it was chilly out there. And then I came into here, and boy, it's warm outside for about 2 or 3 hours. Now the temperatures, as soon as the rain stops, will start going right back down into the 50s. So that spike in temperatures was just enough warm air coming in out of the Gulf to give us several tornado warnings here this evening. And we could see a few more here along the leading edge. So that's the concern as it continues to work its way on to the east. We'll see if we can, well, if there won't be any more of those, or continue to closely watch. And there we go, looking out here in the Gulf right now. We've got several areas showing themselves as possible rotation spots. Well, we are seeing some rotation there offshore. Now, what we notice with a couple of these, they can be pretty stout offshore. Then once they get onshore, they begin to fall apart. Typically, that happens because of friction. There's not very much friction out there over the open water. When these hit land, they run into friction, and that makes it very hard for the circulations to hold together. But boy, look at those. We are seeing several out there. So we're going to be watching out for the possibility of more warnings from these that are offshore now. You can see if you're in Gulf Shores or Orange Beach, these are coming towards you. There are some areas of circulation out there just now, just to the south of Gulf Shores in Orange Beach. Here's our Orange Beach shot. You can see that there on the right side of your screen. Now, the areas of rotation would be to the right of that shot, and we'll continue to keep an eye on that, see what we can see. But right now, they're still a pretty good distance offshore. That camera there is here at Turquoise Place, so we're talking 10 miles out, 12 miles out here. But these are probably moving at around 45 to 50 miles per hour, so it won't take long to get within, get closer to land. So that's what we're going to be keeping an eye on here. That's the area of concern at this point, watching those areas of circulation moving towards the beach area that are now about 10 to 12 miles offshore. Jason?
Yeah, so that's definitely something that we've got to continue to watch. And what we've seen, the trend so far tonight, you know, we have not gotten any confirmed tornadoes in our area, but we've seen these rotation areas. We had a really strong one out over Mobile Bay. It was roaring towards Fairhope and also Point Clear and the Zundels area. But once it came ashore, it weakened, and hopefully that's what's going to happen with these areas of rotation that are out over the Gulf of Mexico. We're actually identifying 3 of those right now. This one off of Gulf Shores, and again, it's not super strong, and it's not anything that the National Weather Service is currently showing signs of issuing an imminent warning for, but we'll watch it right there off of Gulf Shores, most likely producing a water spout, probably not visible because it's going to be wrapped in rain and moving super quick, but there is a possible water spout there right out off a Little Lagoon. It's tracking towards the northeast, towards Gulf Shores, and we'll be crossing, looks like around Gulf State Park, as well as Orange Beach in the west side of Perdido Bay, as well as Wolf Bay. And then we've got another one here, which looks like it will want to come ashore a little closer to Orange Beach and Perdido Pass as it's moving off to the northeast. So a couple of areas of rotation that are out there off the Gulf, and they're about to push in over Baldwin County. Right now, the time is 2:01 a.m. We are not currently under any tornado warnings for our area. As far as severe thunderstorm warnings, we are also now no longer under any severe thunderstorm warnings based on what we're seeing here on radar right now. So some of the warnings have been, at least for the time being, allowed to expire. We have had some reports of some very gusty winds and some squally weather within this band of rain and storms. Actually, there is a severe thunderstorm warning. It was a little hard to see it right here because our radar is orange and the coloration for our roadways is a similar color, as well as the reflectivity of the radar itself. But there is still a severe thunderstorm warning up right now for areas up just to the north and west of Monroeville, up in the Franklin area in Monroe County, as well as far eastern parts of far eastern Clark County. So that is the one active warning that we have going on right now in the area. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning here for heavy rainfall that's going on here into parts of Clark County and also parts of Monroe County. So active weather going on there, and we're looking at what's going on there for any possible rotation, and there is some broad rotation here around the Franklin area, tracking on up towards Beatrice. So we are looking at a very strong thunderstorm here. It won't be too much longer, and this is going to end up in Wilcox County. This is going to track on out, but there is still a warning there for that one. And it's pretty far to the north, so it could be elevated, and that's why we're not seeing a tornado warning issued. Checking in on Baldwin County, okay, so looking at these two areas of rotation, this one, again, it's getting close to shore, and it is weakening right there off of Gulf Shore, so that is a favorable sign. This one's still a little bit stronger up here towards Orange Beach, so we're going to stay with you for a little while longer and watch these cells as they move to the northeast towards the beach. And the situation in the atmosphere tonight, very strong upper level wind shear. The thing that's limiting is the instability is not super high. The warm front didn't fully get through the area until almost right about the time the cells started rolling through. And we've had no daytime heating, but there is some energy on the low end of the scale here for what we call instability, or what could create the lift to promote these possible storms. We do have an update on a severe thunderstorm warning. It looks like that's going to be continued for Monroe County and up into Wilcox County. So that cell we were watching up around the Franklin area, that warning is going to continue over northern Monroe County here and work up into Wilcox County. We've got it tracking there, pulling out of Franklin and moving up over Wilcox County with a strong cell going on there right now in the northern part of Monroe County, and likely some very gusty winds up near the Franklin area. And a couple of more pockets of high reflectivity, meaning heavy rain. So northern Escambia County, Florida is one of those spots right now, and that cell's moving up towards Atmore and Flomaton as it moves to the east. And then we're looking at bands of real heavy rain coming through Baldwin County, but Mobile County, you are now in the clear. So we're looking to be in really good shape here now in Mobile County. We are not under any warnings for Mobile County, and I would expect that our tornado watch could be allowed to expire very soon for Mobile County. So we're looking good there. Washington County, you're also seeing the worst of the weather now east of you. Greene, George, Jackson counties, you're seeing the weather east of you looking good right now. So it is a Baldwin County thing, and from there and from Clark County to the east over Monroe County, that's your band. It's bearing down on Pensacola. Pensacola, you're about to have to contend with this, as well as the Panhandle, and it will be about an hour to hour and a half of some very active weather in Pensacola, and then it will be over with, and we'll start to turn the page and get ready for our Wednesday. So watching out for some severe weather there. Bellevue, you've got rain coming in. Pensacola, heavy rain over the Pensacola Naval Air Station and the 3 Mile Bridge. That's about to push into town. We do see the rain picking up in intensity back towards Highway 98 in Lillian, and we've got heavy rain rolling through Gulf Shores and Orange Beach right now. Look at this cell. This is a nasty looking complex of showers and storms from Gulf Shores to Orange Beach, and it's hard to see with our live camera right now. You can see that there. As far as lightning strikes, we are getting a few lightning strikes there, and we are looking at one area of rotation right here off of Orange Beach. Could be potentially producing a water spout. This is the one that was over and just off of Gulf Shores. It has broadened out quite a bit, so we'll watch this one here, and that one we'll have to keep an eye on. If it holds together enough, it could be a tornado warning for the south part of Baldwin County here in about the next 10 minutes as it comes ashore. Very active looking cell there. Then back on the back edge of the thunderstorm, we've got another area of broad rotation that is not quite to the point where it looks like it could be problematic. So we do have some spinning going on with some of the cells out there over the Gulf of Mexico here tonight, with active weather showing up here on Fox 10 News. And there it is just south of Orange Beach. We're looking at that cell there, and so the area of rotation is actually embedded within this severe thunderstorm right now. Back over to the west, Dauphin Island, you're getting the last of the heavy rain, and then everything looks good for you. So about half of the area is starting to clear on off and see some improvements, and areas back on off to the east still have a little ways to go. Matt, what are you seeing out there as you're tracking this here tonight?
Like you were talking about, we're just basically keeping an eye on southern Baldwin County at the moment. That's the nastiest storm that we have here on the map down around Gulf Shores, Orange Beach area. Got some circulation in that one. We have no warning in it as of now. We're going to continue to watch that to see if some of those circulation areas spin up a little bit stronger for a possible warning. One way or the other, you're going to get some very gusty winds here off the Gulf of Mexico in Orange Beach, Perdido Key, Ono Island, down around Inner Point. So these are the areas that are we're going to be most concerned with here for the next little bit. This will eventually work its way over towards Grand Lagoon, the NAS as well here within just a little while. So once again, fast moving system. We're going to get through this one fairly quickly, but we're in the thick of it right now in southern Baldwin County, and it's moving into the Panhandle here in Escambia County, over towards the NAS, eventually over towards Pensacola Beach here before too long. So we'll continue to see this thing rapidly work its way onto the east. Right now, blindingly heavy rain. Might be able to get that camera shot back up, guys, in Orange Beach. Right now, we should be seeing some, well, that camera is 300 feet up on top of Turquoise Place, so it makes it kind of hard to get details, but you can tell that it's raining pretty heavily there. You can see the rain bashing against the camera there, up there on top of Turquoise Place. And obviously this is looking to the west down Beach Boulevard there. And that is some heavy, heavy rain that is currently coming on down right now. You can see kind of down there towards the highway. Don't see any cars moving along, which is good because that is a nasty, nasty rain moving through Orange Beach right now. Some very heavy stuff. Once again, we are seeing some rotation there. This is south of what we're looking at on the camera shot, and still pretty far offshore at this point. Let me get the measuring stick up. It's moving closer in now. Now we're about 4 miles offshore with that circulation area near the coming up. It's going to come in near the pass and the Floribama area. That's the area that's going to come in very, very close to. So there's the circulation. There's the pass. Floribama area is right about here. And of course, Ono Island is tucked in behind right here. So the east end of Ono Island, this is where it's going to go, or I should say the west end, I'm sorry. The west end of Ono Island is where this is going to go on through. And of course, you've got the Canal Road area, part of Orange Beach. It's going to come very near you as well. That's right through here. So we're going to see this come across right on through this area. Of course, as it moves on in, we've seen most of these rapidly devolve as they move in off the water. So we'll see if that's the same case with this one. Once again, you see the camera shot up there in Orange Beach. Now we're facing to the west there and to the east, and still seeing some very heavy rain. Let me get
Yeah, and out over the Gulf of Mexico, we've got that area of rotation, and the rain is very heavy right there in Orange Beach and Cotton Bayou and the south part of Baldwin County getting the brunt of this storm. And so you need to be watching out right now if you're in Perdido Key or around the Floribama, as well as Innerarity Point and anywhere out here on Canal Road out on the east side of Orange Beach and out into and around Ono Island. We are looking at a rotation area here that is not currently under a tornado warning. In fact, as we look at the area, we only have one active warning, and that's for a severe thunderstorm up into Monroe County. But we are getting the really gusty winds, and we're looking at a strong thunderstorm coming through the south part of the county, south part of Baldwin County, headed into Pensacola. There is a warning up for Clark and Monroe counties. I would expect this part of the warning to expire. The worst of it's really up in the northern part of Monroe County. We've had a couple of counties dropped off of the tornado watch now, and we just got an update that a tornado warning would be issued, and it has been issued for Baldwin County. So if you're watching us right now in the Orange Beach area, the National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for this cell that is over the northern part, and it did just tighten up with that last volume scan, Matt, as we're looking at it here. So we've got a warning up, and this is going to be for Baldwin County for a cell coming ashore right near Perdido Pass. And it looks like it's going to track pretty much right over the Floribama and right along the Florida-Alabama line and Perdido Key. It's moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. It's going to be on shore shortly. And we do have a live picture that we're watching as well. So this possible tornado is about to go over our live picture. And we do not have a very good view of what's happening because it's just dark out there. Yeah. But you can see a ton of wind wrapping around and a lot of rain there with our live picture.
That's what I wanted to mention, Jason. You know, I got the line up there. I mean, it's less than a mile from the camera, and you're not going to see anything there. You're going to see heavy rain, the darkness, but it's just so dark with all that rain, we're probably not going to be able to see. Even if there's something fairly significant there, it would be very difficult to see. But once again, that is a good-looking circulation there. So we have a tight circulation. It's about a mile from that camera shot that we were looking at, or maybe less than that, and it's moving rapidly to the northeast here at around 55 miles per hour. So really, by the time we get that next volume scan in, as we'll likely see this thing on shore in and around the very tip there, very near the pass on the eastern side of the pass there, very close to where the sorry, I'm just keeping an eye. I just put out a marine warning. No surprise there. Once again, this is very near the Floribama area. Let me get that. Floribama is right here, and here's the tip there, right towards the pass on the eastern side, where a lot of folks, you know, there's the beach there, right up near the bridge, right on the pass. That is the area that it is going over right now, and it'll head right over the very wet. There it is. There's a new scan. Look how far it has moved. And look at the camera shot. You can see it looks actually quieter now, and there's some more heavy rain coming on through it. But we're looking down the road there towards the pass, and we're looking basically dead at it from that camera angle, but it's so dark. You're not going to be able to see much there, just the heavy rain moving on through. Once again, this is right now over almost on the west end. Actually, it is on the west end of Ono Island. Also, there's Canal Road area. The Canal Road area, sort of the heart of Orange Beach there. That is also right in the path of this. So there's the new scan showing it right now. Look how quickly it's moving. So it's moving north of Ono now into Canal Road area on the very eastern tip of Canal Road in the sort of Orange Beach proper. So that is the area. Then, of course, Josephine's not far behind that. So it's going to be skipping across there towards the Josephine area and then eventually up towards the Lillian area. So these are the areas we're going to continue to watch as this area of circulation continues to rocket its way to the northeast at 55 miles per hour.
So tornado warning up for Baldwin County and Escambia counties in Florida, and this one right on the line. It is working across Perdido Bay now, and so your rotation area looks like it's just clearing the beach, and it looks like everything worked out okay with our live camera shot there as this passed over. It's basically going to be just north of the Floribama. We are getting a lot of flashing of lightning going on there with our live picture and some very heavy rainfall. And we expect this rotation area to continue to move over, looks like right out Canal Road here on the east side of Orange Beach. It'll move over the Boggy Point area and continue tracking to the north as it heads up towards Josephine. And it will clip, it looks like Baldwin County. Now, what we've noticed is that the velocity was really strong just for a brief period as this was approaching the coast. It is a little more broad now that it's starting to push ashore, and that can happen where we have basically water spouts out there, and then there's not a lot of friction over the water, and so it's really easy for these rotation areas to spin up. But once they start to encounter land, sometimes they back off a little. There is a warning up right now for a Doppler radar indicated tornado over Orange Beach moving northeast at 55, and that's going to stay in effect until 2:30, so it's going to be in effect for about another 15 minutes. And now we're seeing that area of rotation pretty much off of Innerarity Point. It's going to be out over Perdido Bay. It is now moving away from Orange Beach, and it's now going to be up here on the east side of Josephine. So you get out here, Spring Branch Road here on the east side of Josephine. There is a warning up for you there, and we are looking at this cell that's going to continue up across Perdido Bay here, and it looks like it's going to end up working near the Josephine Public Beach, which is in this area here. You've got Ross Point, which is right there, and we have it moving up across Shore Drive and Pine Street, and then further to the north up along Spring Branch Road and Keyhole Road, which is located up here. And then you start getting up around Yopon and up the Yopon community, and further to the north up towards Soldier Creek, which is going to be a little further up the way there as this lifts to the north. So Pine Street, Sycamore Road, some of these areas are included in the path of this Doppler radar indicated rotation area that has moved off of the Gulf and is now out over Perdido Bay and racing to the northeast, as all the cells have been. Very quick forward speed, and these can be really tricky tornadoes to track if they do verify, because they are moving so quickly across our area. There is a very fast motion of wind in the atmosphere, and that's keeping these supercell storms really on the run tonight. They are moving very quickly. They're also clearing very quickly, as we've now cleared out now into Mobile County. So there it is right there, your rotation area on the east side of Josephine. It looks like it's moving from being over Perdido Bay and in the process of coming back ashore here in Baldwin County. So the rotation area is in Baldwin County and not in Escambia County at this time, but Escambia County, Florida, you are included in this warning. And it's heading right for Soldiers Creek, which is right here. And you've got Randolph Drive as well as Red Bluff here. And you've got Jupiter Street, Creek Street, and some of these areas we call out your name of your road there. You've got Randolph Drive, there's Bayview, Sycamore, and there's Soldier Creek Road right there. Soldier Creek's going to be right in that little notch right there. And that's about where we have this thing, right near the mouth of Soldier Creek is where we're seeing the strongest rotation that's going on right now here in Baldwin County. And it's going northeast, which is going to keep it really right along the edge of Perdido Bay, or just a little ways inland here as it gets over this county road right here, a little to the north too. So County Road 91 it is that comes down from Highway 98. It's going to be really close to your area here. You also got County Road 99, which is going to run right along the edge of Perdido Bay. It's still showing some rotation. with these volume scans that are coming in, and this does look like it's drawing a bead on the Lillian area. If you're in Lillian, your phone's probably awakened you and you're watching Fox 10 tonight. And what's been going on with this is actually we saw this rotation area out over the Gulf, and we normally would have gone back to programming because we were not under a tornado warning, but we thought let's just stay on because we are still seeing some rotation areas out of the Gulf of Mexico. And surely enough, we've got a tornado warning up right now for Baldwin County for some rotation that's going on in the south end of County Road 91 here, and that is moving on up towards the north. And there is some really heavy rain going on right now in Baldwin County along with this as well, and along Highway 98 from Alberta over to Lillian. And then you get further to the north there, and you're looking at you got Boykin Boulevard, and ultimately this may end up getting back over and onto the west side of Pensacola if it holds together. And the warning's going to be in effect for about another 9 minutes. So we are keeping an eye on any possibility of that warning being continued. There is still, there was a severe thunderstorm warning for Monroe County. That's been allowed to expire, so we're no longer under a severe thunderstorm warning in Monroe County. The only active warning we have right now is a tornado warning for the Lillian area and areas along County Road 99 and Soldiers Creek for a tornado warning in Baldwin County. And we do expect that to cross Highway 98 here soon, and that warning is going to be in effect for about the next 8 minutes. May be allowed to expire. Based on radar trends, we're not seeing the rotation looking as strong here as it was, and we've not seen any sign of debris with this at all as it's moved over from Orange Beach and now crossing Perdido Bay and getting up here along County Road 99. So right there around Lillian, heavy rainfall going on, crossing 98 and tracking towards Interstate 10 here in the early morning hours. We're looking at some really strong thunderstorms coming through here tonight. There is a tornado watch that's still in effect for a number of counties in our area. Thankfully, we've already seen some of the areas dropping off, and it looks like the tornado warning is going to be continued until 2:30. So for the next 8 minutes, the severe thunderstorm warning is continued for a possible tornado over Lillian, about 10 miles west of Warrington, and tracking towards the northeast at 60 miles an hour. It's going to be for this rotation area here. We've got it on the south side of Lillian, but it's basically going to be within the next couple of minutes passing over the Lillian area, and it's going to continue up towards if you look at it, you've got Gulf Shores KOA that is in this area here, and you can see a couple of the roads here. We've got Clubhouse Drive and a Kearney Loop, Buena Vista Drive, and then getting up towards Santa Rosa Drive. These are some of the areas here that there are some neighborhoods on the southwest side of Lillian, and that's where that rotation area appears to be tracking towards right now, and that warning will continue for the next 7 minutes, and we'll see if it's extended beyond this time as it moves across Highway 98 there around Lillian. Matt?
Yeah, so we're keeping an eye on all of that right now. Once again, we're looking at another 6-7 minutes possibly, and let's see, we're also keeping an eye on another area up near Repton for the Boeing segment. There we go. So we're looking at what's called a Boeing segment. This is an area where we're seeing some very strong straight line winds. So this is up near Repton right now. We're probably going to see a severe thunderstorm warning for the Repton area is about to be put up. Also, that will include likely parts of Conecuh County as well. And that's going to be for this right here. Oops, I thought I got the pointer on there. Let me get the pointer on there. This right here, we're seeing this Boeing in the signature here in the velocity. That means the winds are pushing out of a thunderstorm at a very high velocity, 60, 70 miles per hour, which can do damage. And we'll get a severe thunderstorm warning out of that. So new severe thunderstorm warning is about to come down for parts of Conecuh County here, and possibly parts of Monroe County as well, depending on exactly where they probably mostly Conecuh County here when that one is put up. Also, obviously, we're keeping an eye, and there it is. Yes, Conecuh and Covington, parts of Escambia County as well will be included in that, probably the very northern part of Escambia County when that new box pops up for a new severe thunderstorm warning. There it is. Okay, so also got one up here now also for this area around Century as well. We got some very strong gusty winds, so another severe thunderstorm warning there. So we got a severe thunderstorm warning that we're keeping an eye on. We also have a tornado warning that we are keeping an eye on here in and around Lillian. Still seems to be a fairly broad area of circulation, but once again, we're probably seeing wind gusts here 60 to 70 miles per hour, and that is right over Lillian proper. I might have tightened up a little bit, so we might be seeing this one cycle up a little bit here over Lillian here currently, so we'll be keeping a close eye on that one. That one is set to expire in about 4.5 minutes, so we'll see if that is extended farther over into Escambia County or if it is allowed to expire, I guess, depending on how the next couple of scans look here with that rotation as it continues to work its way off to the northeast at around 55 miles per hour. Let me widen the whole thing out on the radar, and I think the good news is for most of Baldwin County, we're starting to clear on out. There is still the back edge of this. The back edge, though, is not as severe at this point. We don't have any severe warnings along this back edge. Still have some heavy rain, but we don't have any warnings along that. So this seems to be right now this front edge, this front line, that's where we're seeing the warning, severe thunderstorm warnings, and this one tornado warning here around Lillian. The back edge, still some heavy rain, but not seeing anything severe. Mobile County, you're done. You might have some light showers still, but you're done with all that, anything heavy, and certainly nothing severe. So Mobile County's out of it. Washington County, Green George, and Jackson County, Mississippi, no more worries about severe weather. And Clark County, you have now just cleared out as well. The last heavy rain has now moved across over into Monroe County. So Baldwin County still got a bit of ways to go, but not too much farther. And that the severe thunderstorm warning just updated there for Escambia County, parts of Conecuh County, two Escambia counties, and also parts of Santa Rosa County up around Jay. You're included in that as well. Once again, we're going to keep you up with you here for the next 3 minutes at least to see if we can't see what happens with this one here around Lillian. And we'll continue to see the severe weather threat shift eastward into the Panhandle with this whole system, and get the velocity imagery back up here, and we'll see if we've got any circulation still going. It's about out of the box at this point, so we'll see if there's any updates. It looks pretty broad and fairly weak, and we'll continue to see this working its way off to the east and northeast here into Pensacola proper. So you're getting some of the worst weather right now into Pensacola. So the focus now moves across the state line from Baldwin County into Escambia County and into around the Pensacola area. That's where we're seeing some of the strongest weather. Jason?
All right, the tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire here for Baldwin County and Escambia. That was in effect until 2:30 a.m. for the Lillian area. It is now, the area of rotation is very broad. It's moving over the Perdido River here in the northern sections of Perdido Bay. We'll continue to keep an eye on that. And we are looking at the heaviest of the rain now clearing Baldwin County. There's still a little bit of activity back towards Robertsdale and Summerdale, but the bulk of the bad stuff now coming through Pensacola. We are not currently under any warnings for the Pensacola area, and this warning will be allowed to expire here over the Baldwin County area. And so that's an update on what we're tracking here tonight. Active weather across the Gulf Coast. We've seen some severe thunderstorms in our area, seen a number of tornado warnings in our area. We continue with a tornado risk across the Florida Panhandle as we get into the overnight hours. I'm here along with meteorologist Michael White and meteorologist Matt Barentine. We'll continue with coverage as necessary as we go through the night. We're going to take a break now that this warning has been allowed to expire, and we're not under any new warnings at this point. But if we do see any more information, we'll come right back on and bring it to you here on Fox 10 News.